N1 highway. This is north of Pretoria. That the Phumlani Toll Plaza being closed for over 4 hours since early this morning as protesters blockaded parts of the highway. Good afternoon to you, Bongi. What's the status in terms of those motorists that have been literally stuck at the Phumlani Plaza now for several hours? All right, we seem to have been having technical difficulties with our connection to Bongiwe Khumalo. We'll take you live to her as soon as we've been able to re-establish that line from the N1 North in Pretoria. Let's take you live now to Soshanguve. Tensions there also spreading. The township's biggest shopping center has been shut down. We understand staff there saying that they're fearing they may be the next targets. My colleague Matuba Matlaji is there. Good morning to you, Matuba. Good afternoon, rather. Thanks for being on the line this morning. Give us a sense of what you found since you arrived on the scene there this morning.
Good afternoon, Kathy. I'm struggling to hear you because of the background noise here in Soshanguve Block L. What we've seen a few minutes ago was police were here helping evacuate people from Soshanguve crossing. I'm going to ask just to turn around a bit so you can see the mall a bit. So, the Soshanguve crossing, people were being evacuated. If you can see again around me, it's taxis standing, loading people to go home because the mall has been closed. And this is, I think, out of fear of what happened at Atlin, which is the mall as big as this one in Atteridgeville, that there's been looting and the burning of tires. Also, Kathy, just 3 kilometers away from where we are right now, it's Block XX, where there's lots of RDP houses and all these new loan houses, where there's been protests this morning in Soshanguve. That's where the main protest has been happening all morning. So now, when we spoke to people coming out of the mall, people who work at the mall, they've been hearing that the protesters are moving towards the mall. So that's why they've been evacuating and leaving. And the police were here, and I also spoke to police who were saying that they were moving closer to where the protesters are so they can contain them, so they can't move closer to the mall to avoid what happened in Atlin in Atteridgeville, Kathy.
So, Matuba, if I understand you correctly, the mall there is being closed as a precautionary measure. The protesters have not necessarily arrived at that mall as yet.
There are no protesters. The protesters, as I say to you, are about 3-4 kilometers away from where they are. They're being contained by police, and police have advised us to stay away from close to them because of them throwing stones and so forth. So that's why we're here, where actually this is usually a very busy intersection in Soshanguve Block L. But now people have left. People are still waiting for transport, making their way home because the busiest mall in Sosha is being shut down out of fear of the protests that are going on 4 kilometers away from here.
Matuba, what are locals saying to you about these protests? I mean, what do they think about these protests?
The closest I've been to people who are protesting, the one thing that's been clear is the slogan that no Sputla, no vote, which is very worrying. And we have always tried not to allude all these violence to the mayoral candidacy that was announced yesterday. But people who have been protesting that we've heard from here in Soshanguve, they've been saying no Sputla, no vote. And the rest of the people who are here that I've spoken to, who are not part of the protests, are just happy to go home early because of these protests. And some actually, really, Kathy, we've been seeing with the buses that have been burned, we've been seeing people that are just opportunists and are using this opportunity to loot, to steal, and to collect metal and so forth. But really, bystanders here are just as surprised as you and I at the moment with these protests that are actually causing so much tension in Soshanguve, which is usually a very quiet student town, because we're also close to Tshwane University of Technology and children are writing exams. So everybody's a bit tense. Everybody's worried of what's going to happen tomorrow. I actually spoke to one lady who's just started her job today. She's so worried that she doesn't know what she will do tomorrow, whether she to come to work or tomorrow. You can imagine with the high rate of unemployment in the country, somebody who started a job today, now they're being evacuated, going home, not knowing whether to come back to work tomorrow or not.
And because we're particularly talking about Soshanguve and Pretoria West, there have been numerous reports over the years, Matuba, that speak about unemployment in that area, particularly affecting youth. You speak about the demographic also being mostly young people there. In terms of some of the issues that this protest is also highlighting, where the looting is concerned, where the collection of scrap metal is concerned, do you feel that right now it's also highlighting some of the societal issues and perhaps even service delivery issues that have not been attended to?
Yeah, you know, Kathy, the most protests, whether it's service delivery or any other protest, have been very successful, I must say, in Soshanguve, because there is high rate unemployment. People who are not doing anything at home always join, and like I said, find opportunity to commit crime and loot in nearby shops when things like that are going on. So all these factors are actually contributing negatively to the situation here in Soshanguve. So unemployment, very high unemployment, and mostly among youth. You see a lot of young people, actually people who are remaining here at the traffic circle here, the unemployed youth, mostly people who just sit here and loiter around, just looking what's happening. So this is clear evidence of a lot of people who are unemployed, just watching on and waiting for the opportunity, even maybe waiting for an opportunity, if protests really take place here, to do whatever they can. So just like it happens in every other protest that we've seen in Soshanguve in recent times.
All right, Matuba, that's where we'll leave it for now. My colleague Matuba Matlaji, he's out in Soshanguve giving us an update on how the protests have affected that particular township on the west of Pretoria.